What up, what up, what up? What's up, y'all? Oscar here. Golden Truth time. Solo for the first time on the Golden Truth since. Have I done a solo Golden Truth before? I know I've done solo live streams. I don't know if I've done solo Golden Truths. I think this is my. Well, Jason and whoever's watching me, one of my constant watchers, let me know. But, yeah, Aaron's not able to make it, and per usual, um, he doesn't let me know ahead of time, and his excuse, shout out to him though, but still, the lack of letting me know or reminding me that he has a convention to go to slips his mind. I called him literally, texted him today, no response. I think it was like maybe an hour and a half before we go live, 2 hours. No response. Text him again like 10 minutes before we go live. No response. Call him 5 minutes before the show and he's like, bro, I've been in meetings all day. I'm like, dude, a text literally only takes 30 seconds to send saying, hey, I'm at a convention. I can't make it. Boom, send. Oh, okay. Jason's telling me that I did one solo Golden Truth. So thank you very much for reminding me of that one. But yeah. Trust me, if it was up to me, I would have fired Aaron's ass. Got myself a new co-host, but whatever. Don't have the energy to go looking for someone new, trying to break in someone new into the YouTube business and all that stuff. So it is what it is. So this is what we got for today's show. We got. I know I titled it Week 3 recap, Week 4 preview, and Russell Wilson's trash, which we'll obviously discuss after last night's disappointing performance by Russell Wilson. But we also will be discussing. I know I put it as stuff, but it's because the title is you only are allowed 100 characters in the title, so I couldn't fit in Tom Brady getting a divorce and Bobby Wagner tackling a fan that had something in his hand. So, those are basically the topics that we'll be discussing. And of course, we'll be doing week 5 my week 5 predictions. So that's what's coming up in tonight's show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me just make sure that no one else is writing in the chat real quick, aside from Jason. Okay, so basically he's just basically repeating what I just said. All right. So first story. So it turns out, and I didn't know this until I watched Fisk Vegas's channel on Tuesday. He does his own weekly previews and recaps on his channel, Fisk Vegas, and he titled it interestingly where it said Tom Brady getting a divorce. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? And that's how I found out Tom Brady is getting a divorce from Giselle or whatever her name is, the model. And at first, I echoed his guest or his co-host sentiment. I wouldn't want to discuss something that is, in his private life. We don't know anything about it. But then I was rethinking it. I'm like, no wonder he's not playing up to his typical standards, being the quote unquote GOAT of the NFL. And I put air quotes because he ain't the GOAT, in my opinion. So I was looking at it and I'm like, Giselle is, is in his head so much that he can't. He has no. His wife was like, it's either the field or it's me. He obviously chose because he retired, and I guess because he couldn't live with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson whenever he gets back, and if he is back, with the talent that he has, and if he can recuperate what he did back in his Houston days, he can't live without him being the talk of the town. And I think I echoed that. I'm like, wow, you retired for a month, and all people after you retired, all people talk about is, oh, Patrick Mahomes. It's up to Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. This is the new rivalry. These guys are going to be great. And then you're like, oh, nope, never mind. I'm coming back. You have to be in the spotlight, Tom Brady. All right. So it turns out, and I actually read an article. Apparently, he and Giselle hired a divorce attorney, so it's actually legit. But Tom Brady is not the Tom Brady of years past. He is not. And at first I thought when I saw that Dallas game week 1, it was the Dallas defense. I'm like, okay, Dallas defense actually came to play, and they held Tom Brady to 19 points. But then he only scores 23 points against the pathetic Panthers. He scores 20-something points on the the Buccaneers only scored 17 points, or 17 or 20 points against the Saints. And I'm like, this isn't the Brady of old. Like, the Buccaneers lose convincingly, in my opinion, and you're going to get those Brady fans out there like Skip Bayless that were basically whining and crying over, oh, well, Tom Brady was able to throw for 300 yards. He scored 31 points. But to Shannon and to everyone's point, the Chiefs were up 3 scores. Tom Brady was down at one point, 21-3 in the first quarter. He was not himself this past Sunday either. And when it's going to be sad? If the Falcons make it a game on Sunday. That's going to be proof that his divorce and his personal life are affecting his playing ability, because his heart is in the field and in football. But when your family life takes, and trust me, I know, because I lived through a family divorce. And my family, when my parents got divorced when I was 17, my desire of working in school diminished. It changes you. So Giselle basically is in his head, and all he's thinking is, oh, my wife, every pass I throw is my wife ultimatum, and I just decided I wanted to come back. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't know what y'all think. Hold on, let me see let's see if Jason wrote something in the chat. Okay, so no one's wrote in the chat. Okay. Yeah, so that's Tom Brady. I'm gonna hold off on if the Falcons either beat Tampa or make it a game against Tampa, and Brady is still not Brady. That's proof that his personal life is taking over his life. Period. So that's my take. Next story. And I wasn't even going to address this because I feel like this is so stupid. Um, I so it turns out, a fan came running down to the field. This was the Monday night game. Monday night game between Rams 49ers. And apparently a fan ran down onto the field and Bobby Wagner, apparently he had something in his hand. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was tear gas or something. I don't know what the fan was supposed to do or was going to do with that tear gas. And it turns out that Bobby Wagner tackled him, and now the fan is suing Bobby Wagner. Dude, come on, whoever you are, what were you like? You're suing a guy from endangering other himself and other people and potentially yourself, and you're gonna sue him. He did you a favor. He did you a favor. So stop complaining. Like, Bobby Wagner did what he was supposed to do. And Skip Bayless and Shannon were saying, because I saw this on Undisputed. Again, I don't really care about the story, but I'm just going to talk about it just for the heck of talking about it. But you know, people like to sue famous people. People in today's comedy like to sue NFL players for some random stuff. You know, people be crazy nowadays, but this is actually justified because again, you don't know what that guy had held in his hand. You don't know if it was gonna be more serious. You never know. So Bobby Wagner, good for you for stepping up when other people weren't, the 49ers. And here's the thing, the guy was closer to the 49ers sidelines, and the 49er players were just standing there like nothing. They were like, just a crazy fan. Let's just let him have fun. But Bobby Wagner was like, oh, heck no. What if this is something more? Decides to take action. So good for Bobby Wagner to take action. Hold on. Let me see. Jason wrote in the chat real fast. Okay, but here's the thing. And Jason brought this up. He had a pink smoking device. He was protesting protesting animal rights. There's a time and place for everything. My opinion and my thoughts. In the middle of a football game is not the right time to do it. Because A, you're running onto the field where you can also hurt yourself because God forbid that thing is active. Bobby Wagner tackles you and, smoke. And it stops the game, and you'll be the most hated guy because the game has to be suspended. And basically everyone's, look, I respect what you're trying to do. You're an advocate. I respect that. But you could do it maybe outside the stadium, maybe at a tailgate party, but in the middle of a game, no, not the right time. So to play devil's advocate, as my co-host would say, his catchphrase, to play devil's advocate. I see what he was trying to do, but then again, you invade a football game when there are like 20, no, not even, maybe like 50 to 60, 300, 200 plus to near 300-pound men that can basically eat you alive. I don't know if you want to, take your chances. So yeah. All right. Let me see if Jason wrote. All right. So those are the stories that I want to catch up on. Let's do week 4 recap real fast. Let me just pull up my phone real fast. Again, this is the stuff that Aaron would do. So let me just pull this up on my phone real fast. Give me 1 second, folks. Jason, can you be more specific on the OBJ thing? Like him, like not playing, like him, like trying to find a team, or oh that. Okay, yeah, I was about to ask that. All right, OBJ. Eh, I really don't know. I don't know where he would right now. He's just hanging out, trying to recover. I don't know if he's full on recovered anyway, but he does want to play. Odell Beckham Jr. Should he go to the Bills? Should he go to the? Don't go to the Giants. Because I mean, some Giants fans are like, bring him home. He got a Super Bowl ring now. He doesn't want to be mediocre. Does he though? Like, is he satisfied? Is he satisfied though with one Super Bowl ring when him as a talent and the Giants and Eli Manning basically robbed him of greatness? The Browns robbed him of greatness because everyone thought that Baker Mayfield was gonna become, the shit, and that he was gonna take this Browns team to the Super Bowl. Oh heck no. It wasn't gonna happen. Seeing how Baker Mayfield is now. But let me see. I don't know. If he wants to go back to the Giants, whatever. I mean, Landon Collins ended up back with the Giants after they didn't want to re-sign him, and after a lot of fans. Here's the thing. This is what I don't get. The fans, when it came to Landon Collins, basically called Landon Collins trash. They're like, "Oh, he sucks. He's garbage. He's hot garbage." And in most of his Washington career, he was. For some odd reason, Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio found where he was best suited at, but right when they do that, they release him. So there he goes back to the Giants. Now, will his second stint with the Giants work? We'll have to wait and see. But I really don't want to, if he is trash and if he does suck, I don't want to hear Giants fans saying, "Oh, he's trash." Then why did your organization bring him back? And why were you all saying to bring him home? That's the same thing goes with OBJ. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones good? We don't know. In my opinion, Saquon Barkley's carried the team, not Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has run with the football. He's a good runner, but he can't throw. He's not a good passer. Look at the turnovers. He can't win big. The Giants are 3-1 right now, but they can't beat a big team. And I'll discuss that when we preview week 5. So OBJ, if you want to be mediocre, go to the Giants. But if you're looking for a ring, the Bills, the Rams, we'll discuss that in a second. But back to the Rams. The only thing is that Rams probably are broke because they somehow end up over their salary cap. So I don't know if bringing him back and wanting him and them paying him $8 million is gonna do it for him. I would Green Bay needs a wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers needs another target. Patrick Mahomes, imagine Patrick Mahomes and OBJ. That's what they were saying last year. Imagine Patrick Mahomes and OBJ. So we'll have to wait and see there. So yeah, I want to see him at a contending team. Let me know what y'all think. Alrighty. Score recap. or week 4 recap. Let me pull up the schedule real fast. All right. Jason, hold on. The other thing is that he doesn't want to go to another team that isn't going anywhere. Again, I don't know. Maybe Odell is thinking I got my ring and I'm good. It's like for example the Tyreek Hill situation. Granted, I don't know if the Dolphins are going to go anywhere, but it's like the classic Tyreek Hill. Why would you accept a trade from the Chiefs to the Dolphins, a team that basically hasn't been relevant in what 30, 40 years, 30 years since the late 90s, since Dan Marino. So, I don't know. I think that, Tyreek Hill could have picked a better team, but he ended up picking the Dolphins to get traded to. The same goes for OBJ. Is he satisfied with one ring? We'll have to, if he goes to the Giants, that's proof that he's satisfied with one ring because the Giants ain't going to a Super Bowl. Period. They're not. Delusional Giants fans, kiss my ass. Giants are going to no Super Bowl anytime soon. That is true. OBJ is injury prone. And I'm addressing Jason basically writing in the chat. I don't. That is true. So maybe he picks a team here in the next week or two. He is visiting teams right now. So maybe he can come to a decision maybe the next coming weeks. I will be surprised, though, if OBJ does not find a new home by halfway point of the season, so week 9. If he does not find a home week 9, I expect him to be sitting at home for this season and slowly but surely being irrelevant in the NFL from here on out. I mean, okay. The Rams need him. Yeah, that is true. That is true because Allen Robinson is trash, and of course Cooper Kupp. It's not that his Cooper Kupp isn't hot, Jason. It is because the Rams have a lot of other things going on. Matthew Stafford keeps on getting hit, suffering. Basically, he has been sacked the second most behind Carson Wentz. So if you can't get your wide receivers the ball, then what's the point? Because his offensive line, Matthew Stafford's offensive line is hot garbage right now. So it isn't because Cooper Kupp isn't catching balls. It is because A, Matthew Stafford keeps getting hit, and B, is he an upgrade over Allen Robinson? Sure. But again, I don't know if the Rams would want to pay Odell $8 million, especially if they are over the salary cap. All right. Unless Jason writes more in the chat, and he keeps on texting me about telling me that he does write in the chat. Let's do these week 4 predictions real fast. All right, first game I'm going to recap, and it's going to be a brief recap. I'm not even going to waste my time. Commanders at Dallas Cowboys. Commanders are trash. And here's the thing. I'm just going to go ahead and go on a 5-minute rant because I can. Because I remember Aaron last week cut me short because I was literally giving keys to the game or whatever. And he basically cut me short. He was like, okay, let's move on before you go on a tangent. There's no Aaron today. So if I want to go on a tangent, I will. Commanders aren't beating the Titans, y'all. The Titans may be trash. Derrick Henry is an unstoppable force. Will the front seven, will Montez Sweat, will Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, will those guys stop Derrick Henry? Yes. Will they stop Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball? No, because their defense is hot garbage. Their secondary is hot garbage. Number one. Number two. You know what? I'll save that for my week 5 preview. I forgot what I was doing for a second. Anyways, nothing to talk here. Commanders are trash. Dallas moves on. We'll see if Dallas can beat a legitimate team this Sunday, which I will discuss in the preview. Next game. Okay, Vikings 28-25. They beat the Saints. And here's the thing: the Saints actually played well, considering the fact that they had Andy Dalton as their quarterback. I'm very surprised that they kept it that close. Either that or Kirk Cousins really trash because, but they used Dalvin Cook pretty well. It was that London game. I saw parts of that game, but when I saw that, the Saints were catching up because the Vikings had a 2-score game in that game, but per usual, Kirk Cousins is trash. Somehow the Saints tied it at 25, and I was surprised that the Vikings were able to pull it off at the last minute. So the Vikings get lucky in London, I guess. And I guess Kirk Cousins wanted to rewrite his history in London after that 27-27 tie that he suffered when he was with, then Washington Redskins. But when now Commanders took on the Bengals in 2016 in London. So I guess good for Kirk Cousins. Andy Dalton actually played solid, played fairly solid, but the Saints are 1-3. I think the Saints, Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton are an 8, and I think that they're just, Dennis Allen. Well, jury's still still out on Dennis Allen, whatever his name is, the coach of the Saints. But I honestly don't. The Saints aren't going to be a contender this year. Browns lose to the Falcons 23-20. Oh man, the Browns are having this up and down season. I think they're going to be up and down until Deshaun Watson gets back, to be in my opinion. The Falcons. Something that was pointed out to me on that I found interesting on another YouTube channel is that the Falcons are actually, yes, they're playing like the Falcons of old, and still the Falcons after they choked away 28-3, but this Falcons team is actually different. They're actually more scrappy. I would not be surprised if they kept it close against the Buccaneers this Sunday. So, yeah. But the Browns are just too up and down until Deshaun Watson gets back. Let's move on. Okay. Bills 23, Ravens 20. And boy, oh boy, what have I hoped to have Aaron for this game. Talk about this game. I really wanted him to go off, and I really wanted him to be pessimistic about his Ravens. Because, so man, Lamar Jackson can't catch a break. Second blown lead in the span of 3 weeks. That does not happen to you. Oh, man. The Ravens caught the case of the Falcons. So bad. I can't believe that happened to the Ravens. Hold on, let me see if anyone wrote in the chat before I go on. Okay, so basically, Jason was just saying OBJ and Kelsey. Okay, good. Anyways, back to this Ravens game. Man, it's John Harbaugh, man. John Harbaugh is trying so hard to move from his. Because here's the thing, John Harbaugh, in the early 2010s, the Ravens were based on their defense and their media and Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco was not that good. But once the Ravens got Lamar Jackson, I feel like Lamar Jackson has spoiled the Ravens. He has spoiled the Ravens because check this out. With 4 minutes to play, they're tied all at 20, and John Harbaugh, instead of kicking the field goal to take the lead and trusting his defense, says, nah, I trust in Lamar Jackson to get us into the end zone. And that failed. And the Bills were able to wind down the clock, kick the winning field goal, and come back and do that again to the Ravens, like the Dolphins did 2 weeks ago. And now the Ravens are sitting 2-2, and the AFC North is wide open. So I don't know. I think it's John Harbaugh, man. Like Lamar, I feel like it goes hand in hand. Lamar spoiled the Ravens so much that John Harbaugh was like, screw this conservative trusting in my defense crap. I got a good quarterback, probably one of the best ones to actually show up and do it. I'm going to use him to, I'm going to use him, and I'm going to use him to the point where they're being overly aggressive and it costs them games. Man, Lamar Jackson. Man, I cannot believe that happened to the Ravens twice in the span of 3 weeks. That does not happen in the span of 3 weeks. And you were facing the Bills were dead in the water too, 20-3. And they find a way. Josh Allen finds a way. Let's see, any more comments? All right, nothing else? All right, let's move on to the next game. But shout out to the Buffalo Bills. They came back and they basically proved me wrong when I said, oh man, Josh Allen's going to lose twice. He's going to lose to the Dolphins and he's going to lose to the Ravens. I put my confidence on the Ravens in that one. Man. I thought that the Ravens were actually going to come, do something, but I guess not. And they got Cincinnati next. So, I feel like this game on Sunday is the Bengals. Well, more on that in a second. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, no, don't move. Seahawks beat the Lions 48-45. And here's what I have to say about this game. is this. There are 1-3 teams out there, like the Commanders, like the Panthers. Let me see. Well, the Raiders are they a scrappy team? I don't know. I don't keep up with the Raiders much, but I do keep up with the mediocre ones and the ones that actually fight hard. Like the Falcons, who are actually scrappy and give a crap about their fans, and they will fight and they will fight hard. The Lions are one of those teams where they're 1-3, but they don't act like they're 1-3. They act like they're 3-1 because they can score, and they just won't go away. They were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, and they made it close. Should they have played better in those first 3 quarters? Yes. But they are scrappy. They won't go away. And this is what irks me about this Commanders team, is that there are 1-3 teams out there that are bad, and 1-3 teams that you look at them, you're like, this team should not be 1-3 right now. And the Lions are one of those teams. The Lions are basically what the Commanders are not. They're scrappy and they fight hard. Moving on to the next game. Oh, on another note, Seahawks are 2-2 or whatever. I don't give a crap about them. They're still trash. I'm surprised that they were able to pull it off against the Lions to begin with. Chargers versus Texans. Texans are trash. I don't really care about the Texans. Chargers, I guess they were caught on a... Chargers, I guess, basically are trying to find their identity. I don't know. The Chargers are, again, they're too up and down for my liking. I don't really care about the Chargers. Like, they're just not... One game they could, they blow out. Another game they just have a letdown and they get blown out. Another game they fight hard. Another game you're like, what the heck? So I don't even know what to say about the Chargers anymore. Raiders are mediocre. Yep, I agree. All right, let's move on to the next game. Titans beat the Colts 22-17. The AFC South is becoming the NFC East of the AFC. I really don't know what to say about the Titans right now. They lose to the Giants. They start 0-1. They lose. Who do they lose to? It's week 2, where you're like, dang, they should have won that game too. And now they feel like they're hot because they beat the Raiders and they beat the Colts. Let's see. They beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and they lose to the team. Well, with the exception of the Giants. Can they be consistent? We'll have to wait and see. Is Ryan Tannehill basically washed? Yes. But the Titans are going to hold on to him. Anywho. Giants beat the Bears 20-12. Bears are trash. They're tanking with their coach. I don't know what they're doing. Justin Fields ain't it. Giants, like I said, they're 3-1, but they beat mediocre teams. Can they hang with the big boys? We'll have to wait and see. That's all I got to say about that one. Moving on. Eagles, Jaguars, 29-21. Eagles find a way to pull that one out. Hey, man, the Jaguars are respectable. They hung around with the Eagles, even when they were down 2 scores. The Jaguars should be back. I feel like the Jaguars have a legitimate, out of all the 4 AFC South teams, and don't give me that the Colts are 2-2-1, and that the Titans are at the precipice of becoming 3-2. Don't give me that crap. I feel like those guys are pretenders. The Jaguars are for real. And I'll say that, they hung around with the Eagles. They hang in there. So, Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, they're legit. That's all I got to say. Eagles are 4-0. They're winning the division. They're basically they're going to beat the Giants. They're going to beat Dallas, my opinion. So, Jets beat the Steelers 24-20. Where do I begin? Oh, man, Steelers. What happened to you, Steelers? I remember when I started watching football, the Steelers were the team that I loved to root for after the Commanders. Because my dad's a Steelers fan. Granted, I don't remember this, but apparently my dad did or does. That apparently he bought me a Steelers jacket, and some student this happened when I was in kindergarten. So, apparently a student mistaked it for his jacket, and that jacket was never seen ever again. So my dad was so bummed, and he still brings it up to this day. I don't remember this, but he did. He was like, "Man, I remember." I don't know. He's like, "Man, you used to root for the Steelers," and I do remember rooting for the Steelers in that Super Bowl against the Seahawks. So, I do remember also two teachers of mine actually were Steelers fans. So, yeah. What else nothing else to say. Really nothing else to say about the Steelers. They're just they are struggling to find their identity with Ben Roethlisberger, and if Aaron were here, he would have said, well, because I would have said, look, man, they're starting Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett, he's a rookie, and Aaron would say they shouldn't have done that, or it's not a good move on his part, dumb move on the Steelers. But what else can you do when the Steelers picked up a mediocre quarterback in Mitch Trubisky, thinking that they could revive his career? They draft Kenny Pickett, which who knows what he'll become. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. I would have very hard to say, but who knows, what Dwayne Haskins would look like in the Steelers offense, and unfortunately we'll never know. But man, the Steelers, the old Steelers are gone, man. Like, I guess it's the Kenny Pickett show. And this is what they get for signing Mitch Trubisky to be their starter, because they lose to the Jets, and I don't the jury's still out on the Jets. I don't know if the Jets are actually clawing their way back in from being just god awful terrible in the last decade to respectable, but they're beating team. They beat the who did they beat unexpectedly? It was one of those games where Aaron and I were like, "What the heck?" And they kept it close too. But they beat the Steelers, so we'll have to wait and see what the Jets say. Hold on, let me check the chat real fast. That is true. Even though, yeah, Big Ben, the last, I want to say 2 years, year and a half to 2 years of his career, he wasn't all that good. But hey, he led the team to the playoffs those two times. So, that's respectable. Mitch Trubisky is not going to come anywhere near that. Obviously, Mike Tomlin doesn't want to admit that this is a rebuilding year, even though I think everyone says it is. Will the Steelers go out on the run? I don't think so, especially if they're trying to, see what Kenny Pickett is at the moment. And Kenny Pickett didn't look all that great either in the Jets game, throwing 3 interceptions. But we'll see what's next. All right, let's move on to the next game. Next game, Cardinals, Panthers, 26-16 in the favor of the Cardinals. Baker Mayfield's trash. Panthers keep on being mediocre with that, post. Well, granted, Ron Rivera wasn't very good towards the tail end of his stint in Carolina anyway. I feel like this new owner that the Panthers got doesn't know what he's doing, just brings in brings in a college head coach, which college head coaches, sometimes they pan out, sometimes they don't in the NFL. Most likely they don't. But the Panthers don't like the Commanders, like the Panthers are basically like the Commanders where they don't have QB stability. And Baker Mayfield is basically just there for the ride. I think the Panthers are also waiting for Sam Darnold to get back off of his injury. He is not the answer at QB when they thought that he would be. The Panthers are trash. Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Again, the Cardinals beat a team that they're supposed to beat. I don't think that they're legit either, but only time will tell. Next game. Packers beat the Patriots 27-24. Patriots are 1-3 or whatever. I'm just surprised that the Patriots kept it fairly close first, and second, a no-name quarterback after Brian Hoyer went down with an injury kept it close. I'm surprised it went to overtime. Maybe that's a knock on Aaron Rodgers in this offense now, because the Packers should have had their way with the Patriots. There's no ifs, ands, or if this was the Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams show, the Packers would have scored 40 on these guys. But because Aaron Rodgers is still trying to figure out who's going to be his new target or his favorite weapon, the Packers are going to have more close games than what y'all think. So that's my thoughts on that one. Patriots with whoever the quarterback is, with them saying that Mac Jones is day to day, I don't believe that for a single second. Bill Belichick is that is basically a Bill Belichick move, not confirming nor denying things and stuff like that. So, I don't see Mac Jones starting for the rest of the season. I feel like the Patriots, they're just gonna win as many as 6 or 7 games this year. So, yep. Next game. Raiders, Broncos. Broncos lose it 33-22, whatever it was. 32-23. Oh, okay. Broncos are god awful. And like I'll say, when we're doing when I'll get to the Russell Wilson portion of this show, uh, is this: the Broncos are overwhelming. Russell Wilson is underperforming. The Raiders, I don't know how the Raiders won that game when they shouldn't have. I thought that the Broncos should have laid hands on those guys. Nope, I guess the Raiders laid hands on them. So it is what it is. Moving on. Chiefs beat Buccaneers 41-31. Like I echoed, Tom Brady isn't his normal self. Being down 3 scores, basically when he would try to make it close, Patrick Mahomes like, fine, you're gonna make it close. Well, I'm gonna keep on making it farther. Basically, it's I see your 5, I raise you 10 type of scenario. Brady isn't his normal self. Chiefs, I guess, redeemed the embarrassment, which was Super Bowl 55. Also, because I know the Buccaneers, I think it was, who was it? It was one of their pass rushers that I can't remember right now was saying, I still see the same offensive line. Shut up and do your work. Talk on the field, not off the field. Because now you got humbled. You ate a big slice of that humbled pie when your boy Tom Brady couldn't get the job done against Patrick Mahomes on that same O-line. So whatever. Next game. Oh, and last game. Rams lose 24-9 to the 49ers. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, like I stated earlier, to addressing the OBJ stuff, the Rams' offensive line is garbage. Matthew Stafford has been sacked second most in the league behind Carson Wentz, leaving that he can't throw downfield. Sean McVay can't run the ball. They can't use Cam Akers, period. And the 49ers exposed that, leading to my second point. Number 2, the 49ers continue to do to the Rams in the regular season, owning the Rams in, I think, what is it, 7 straight regular season wins. But the 49ers aren't able to beat the Rams and when it matters most. So, impressed that, and I called it. I told Aaron this. I was like, look, 49ers are going to beat the Rams. The Rams, tend to lose. But Aaron was like, yo, man, but who won in that when it mattered most? Yes, I know who won when it mattered most. But the 49ers tend to beat the Rams in the regular season. So, and I was right with that one. I was right. So, that is week 4 recap. Let's move on to week 5 real fast, and let's talk about this Russell Wilson stuff. And let me pull up, give me 1 second, folks. Let me pull up the week 5 schedule, so that way we can do my week 5 predictions. I don't know how fun this is going to be without Aaron, but we'll give it a try. All right. Now I got week 5 pulled up. But let's talk about this game last night. Russell Wilson's just terrible. He's trash. I've never seen someone so bad. Oh my goodness. You lose to the Colts 12-9. You lose to a washed up Matt Ryan. Really? Matt Ryan last night, because I saw that game, Matt Ryan looked like he was the guy that entered the league in 2012. And Russell Wilson looked like he was the one that entered the league in 2008. Really, that is unexcusable. The Broncos traded for you, Russell, because they thought that you were the one guy that could lead them from being mediocre. But like I said a few moments ago, you lose to the Raiders and you lose to the Colts. Really? When those two games you should have won? And you throw dumb interceptions too. He threw 2 interceptions that gave the Colts life. Money not well spent for the Broncos, in my opinion. He's terrible until further notice. I said it right here. He is terrible until further notice. The Broncos are probably thinking, man, we really... Because here's the thing. And Shannon and Skip were discussing this earlier today. So the Broncos lose week 1 to the Seahawks. Okay, maybe Nathaniel Hackett, not trusting Russell Wilson. Like, what the heck? Why did you pay Russell Wilson if you're just going to go ahead and kick a 64-yard field goal? Okay, I get that. But yesterday, I think Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know if that was more of an owner/general manager move or a Nathaniel Hackett move. And I think, because everyone in that locker room, in the Denver locker room, is going to be looking at Russell like, what the heck, dude? Like, why did you throw? And those were 2 really bad interceptions. I saw highlights of those things. How do you throw 2 bad interceptions to a Colts team that's been mediocre this season? How? Explain to me how, Russell. Man. And plus you get an extension too? You're robbing the Broncos at this point. Inexcusable. Inexcusable for the Broncos right now. They are 2-2 now. Now they are 2-2 in a division that features Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and basically that's it. Because Derek Carr ain't that good, and the Raiders aren't that good either. So those are already 4 given. You're gonna be 2-4. No, not even. Sorry, 1-5 in the division. If you're gonna play that, if you're gonna play like that, you're gonna be 1-5 in the division. Because I don't see the Raiders sweeping the Broncos. But they are gonna. The way that Russell Wilson is playing, I see the Broncos losing to both Chargers and the Chiefs twice. So you're gonna go 1-5 in the division. Seriously. Money not well spent. Russell Wilson. And here's the thing. I thought Seattle, and I think Pete Carroll saw the writing. He was like, y'all want Russell Wilson? Okay, I'm not going to stop you. I'll take your picks. I'll take your picks. Y'all can take Russell Wilson's money. Just we're warning you all, though. Well, you guys saw a lot in the last few years. Russell Wilson ain't that good. If you guys, I'm warning you. The Broncos were like, no, we can fix him. It's y'all's system. Nope. Because you have back-to-back losses, first off. Second off, you threw 2 interceptions, no touchdowns to offset them, by the way. And the second interception, you were on the goal line. You were on the goal line to end the game, too. It was the Super Bowl thing all over again. Super Bowl 49, when he decides that instead of handing it off to Marshawn Lynch, he throws it and gets intercepted by Malcolm Butler. The same thing happened. Throws it in the end zone on 3rd down when he could have just run the ball, got on a 1st down because it was like, 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, something like that. But he throws an interception and Stephon Gilmore just picks it off. Bad throws by Russell Wilson. So yeah, Russell Wilson's garbage. All right. got that off my chest. Let's do week 5 predictions real fast. All right. Commanders at Titans. Commanders are going to lose. Score prediction 24-14 Titans. Commanders, like I stated earlier, the Commanders are that 1-3 team that they can't fight. Basically, the Lions are a better 1-3 team, sad to say, than the Commanders. Carson Wentz is going to get, the Titans defense is not all that, but they're going to make, Carson Wentz is going to be sacked 6 times. Jahan Dotson is out for this game, so there goes your reliable red zone threat for this game. Logan Thomas is questionable. Just injuries at the wrong time. Ron Rivera needs I'm not even going to waste my time. Ron Rivera's if they lose to the Titans 1-4, and it's a short week next Thursday because they play Thursday night, week 6 against the Bears, and that's an 11-day stretch after that. If Ron Rivera is still hired as the coach of the Commanders and they lose to the Titans and to the Bears and they're 1-5, Dan Snyder really needs to come out of hiding and fire his ass at this point. I'm not even gonna get my keys, and I'm not even gonna get my preview anymore. There's nothing to cheer about with this team. I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna report just because. And if they win, yay, you beat a team you're supposed to beat, but yet you're still 2-3, so I don't give a crap. So whatever. Next game. Giants, Packers. Give me the Packers for this one. I feel like the Giants were exposed when it came to Dallas. The Giants aren't there yet, and they aren't there with Daniel Jones. I don't even know if Daniel Jones even gonna play this Sunday because I think he's hurt or something. Daniel Jones Giants aren't good. They're going to lose to a good team. Now, if they pull an upset, then we're like, okay, we got something to talk about. But I still have the Packers winning this one. Next game. Steelers, Bills. I'm going to take the Bills. If this was the Big Ben Steelers of last year where the Steelers were able to keep it close and were able to pull out a 3, played, nasty, those defensive games, then yes, I would have given it to the Steelers. But this is Kenny Pickett's Steelers, and I don't know if Kenny Pickett's ready for that. So I see another 3 interception day for Kenny Pickett in this game. Bills are running away with this one. Next one. Chargers, Browns. You know what? I'm gonna give the upset win to the Browns here. The Browns and the two teams are up and down right now. They're not consistent, but I think the Browns. Justin Herbert's hurt. This Chargers defense is hurt. So Browns in an upset. Browns will go 3-2. Jaguars, Texans. I'm going the Jaguars. Move on. Next. Bears, Vikings. Picking the Vikings. Moving on. If the Vikings lose to the Bears, Kirk Cousins should be benched. Patriots, Lions. Ooh. Give me the Lions. The Lions have they're better offensively. Do they have the better defense? I don't think so. But they definitely have the better offense. And they're scrappy. And the Patriots, it's who's going to start for the Patriots right now? Their quarterbacks are hurt. And on Sunday, a no-name guy basically had to be thrown into the wolves to play against Aaron Rodgers. Granted, he went toe for toe with Aaron Rodgers, but I don't see the Patriots winning this game. Moving on. Saints Seahawks. I'll do the Seahawks in this game. Give me the Seahawks. Better team all around. You know, the Saints, they came close to beating the Vikings, but they're just Jameis Winston, whoever's going to start, is not going to beat the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks for this game. Dolphins, Jets. Give me the Dolphins. Zach Wilson and the Jets versus. I know Teddy Bridgewater isn't that good. He's not that good, but I feel like Mike McDaniels is gonna, has a week to prepare with him to give him some play calls that he's comfortable with. I feel like the Dolphins can win this one. They should win this one. Moving on. Buccaneers, Falcons. Tom Brady still may be trash. Tom Brady still may be trash, but the Falcons are still even more trash. Give me the Buccaneers for this one. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a close game, though. I don't know why. I feel like it's gonna be close, but the Buccaneers are gonna find a way to win out in the end. For the Niners, Panthers. 49ers moving on. Panthers are trash. Moving on. Cardinals, Eagles. Ooh. Cardinals, though, are too up and down. Kyler Murray is, again, up and down himself as well. Eagles are going to go 5-0. Eagles are going to go 5-0. Moving on. Cardinals, Rams. Okay. Here's what I have to say about this game. I feel like if this was a matchup from last year, Rams hands down. But the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, because everyone's sleeping on Cooper Rush, have a chance with this defense too, especially with Matthew Stafford being the second most sacked quarterback. The offensive line isn't that good for the Rams. They're gonna find a way to triple cover. Trayvon Diggs can shut down Cooper Kupp single-handedly, and if not, they'll probably put another guy to help out Trayvon Diggs. So I feel like Cooper Kupp is going to be shut down this game, forcing Matthew Stafford to feed Cam Akers, but Cam Akers are going to be able to do crap with Micah Parsons leading the charge. Aaron Donald, though, is going to have a field day, and Cooper Rush is going to get a taste of legitimate defenses. So we'll have to wait and see, but I still think that this game is going to be close. I'm picking the Rams to win this in overtime, 23-17. Bengals, Ravens, Sunday Night Football. Give me, you know what? I'll do the. I'm gonna go. I went with the Ravens 2 weeks in a row. I'll do the Ravens. I'll do the Bengals here. I feel like the Bengals. Joe Burrow isn't Josh Allen or Tua Tagovailoa, but Jamar Chase, this Ravens defense has struggled. Lamar Jackson is going to have to do something, and John Harbaugh is going to get in the way of winning this game. So I feel like the Bengals are going to win this game on Sunday night. Chiefs, Raiders, picking the Chiefs. I don't care. Did you look at how Patrick Mahomes picked apart that Buccaneers defense? Imagine what Patrick Mahomes is going to do to that Raiders team that isn't all that good. Period. End of story. Nothing else to see here for this game. But let me make sure no one else wrote in the chat while I was. Okay. All right. Well, y'all, that'll do it for the Golden Truth for the week. Like I said, it was a solo show. It felt weird, talking amongst y'all. How long did I go live for, though, myself? Let me see. Oh, wow. An hour and 13 minutes. So I'm surprised that I went 1 hour and 13 minutes in this live stream. Usually with Aaron, we usually try an hour, and usually he likes to talk a lot. So I'm surprised that we do it under the hour. It's probably because I had to stall with a lot of the tech stuff, or I had to pull up the schedule, which Aaron usually does on his phone. But alrighty, y'all. I guess that'll do it here. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm done here. Keep it real. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.